It's the sixth installment of the high-octane action series Fast and the Furious, and once again, Hollywood muscle man Vin Diesel takes on the character of hard-talking street racer and ex-con Dominic Toretto.
Just like old times.
And after the original raked in a cool $40 million at the box office in its first weekend in 2001, the Fast and the Furious franchise sees Vin Diesel step firmly into the limelight to become one of Tinseltown's A-listers. This week on Talk Asia, we're in Seoul to catch up with Vin Diesel and find out who he really is. Who are you at home?
To my mom, I'm probably Michael Corleone.
Vin Diesel, welcome to Talk Asia.
Hello, Monita.
You've taken ownership over this franchise as well, producing these movies. What have you learned about the process and of dealing with studios in Hollywood?
The whole idea of being a producer was to be more accountable for the overall picture. It was never good enough for me as an actor to look at a finished picture and say, how was I in it? And if I'm good in it, that's all I care about. Maybe because of the fact that I started in this business as a director. So after 20 years of licking stamps and sending out manila folders with my headshots and well-articulated cover letters, pleading somebody to give me a shot, I kicked off into directing a short film that went to Cannes and a feature that went to dramatic competition in Sundance. My point is, being a producer allowed me to be more accountable for the overall picture. All of our characters shine so well. That's a testament to wanting everyone in the cast to shine, wanting the director to be the best that he. I like walking away from a film and everyone in the film being applauded for doing the best work.
Did you ever want to throw in the towel when you were auditioning, trying so hard to break this very difficult and hard barrier?
When I was a teenager, when I was a young teenager, I used to say, if I'm not a star by the time I get out of high school, I'm just gonna go to college and get a vocational job. And I said, if I'm not a star by the time I'm 21, I will come up with another plan. And then I said, if I'm not a star by the time I'm 25, I'm not gonna be like everybody around me who were incredible actors. The best actors I had ever seen. But none of them made a living. And they were just local heroes. I had known at that time that I was gonna be a big movie star.
You knew back then?
And so many people say that they knew, and you never know it. I knew it more than a human could know it. I used to say, I don't know if I'll ever have the white picket fence. I don't know if I'll ever get married. I love women too much. But I know as sure as I'm breathing, I'll be the biggest movie star in the world. I don't know what gave me that cause, because I wasn't doing too well. I mean, I started acting at 7. I should have popped off a lot earlier, but I can't stress enough. I mean, if there's anything you get from this, please know that there wasn't a hair of doubt. It was the weirdest thing. And even my friends would think I was crazy when I said it. My dad was a black actor. But he wanted me to go one step further. He wanted me to be an actor. Just an actor.
When you directed, produced your first short film, Multifacial, I remember watching it and seeing this guy, the character, Mike, this very open, very honest, very accessible, very real guy. And there's a line in the monologue where he talks about his father and saying he wanted to be seen not as a black actor, but as an actor.
The irony of Multifacial is it's a short film that explains why you can't cast a multicultural actor. And in the 80s and the 90s, there weren't any multicultural actors. And there was no promise of there ever going to be a multicultural movie star. So even at that time, even in the 80s and the 90s, I had envisioned, you know, the dream of someday being the first multicultural superstar and what that would be like.
This small, short film that cost, what, $3,000 to make?
That's right.
Lands in the lap of a really big-time Hollywood director. Tell me about that.
Well, I had just come back from the Sundance Film Festival with Strays, and I thought that I would sell it there, and I didn't sell it. And then one Saturday morning, I get a call from my agent, and she says, you're not going to believe this, but Steven Spielberg saw your short film. I just started jumping up and down, and I remember I jumped on my bed. I was jumping up and down on my bed like a kid at Christmas. And the agent said, can you shut up for a second, Vin? I have more to tell you. He wants to write a role for you in Saving Private Ryan.
Wow.
That's never happened in any form of reality for me. I've never seen that happen in the career. I've never seen that happen to the sea of actors I grew up with. I've never seen that happen. I didn't even know if it could happen. So I remember like being in my closet and trying to pick out what shirt to wear to meet Steven Spielberg. And I ended up with a white t-shirt, go figure. And I walk onto the set of a film he was filming at the time. And the whole time I'm thinking, well, I don't want to say something so obvious, like I'm a huge fan of your work. He probably hears that all the time. He probably wants me to be a lot cooler than that. And he comes over to me and says, Vin, I'm a fan of your work.
Oh my God, wow.
My heart just opened up, and I was just, that sense that I didn't need anything more. And he said, you know, I want you to meet Tom. And I said, Tom who? And he started laughing and said, and looked at me like, you don't know what you're here for? Kind of like, do you know anything about this industry? Tom Hanks. And I said, oh, and I was so, I felt so, at that moment, embarrassed. And he said, no, that's a good thing. Don't lose that. He was speaking to keeping that New York integrity, or keeping that integrity, period.
And have you?
It's not easy. It's easier just to hit your mark and say your lines. But that just wasn't me. I had failed for 2 decades hitting marks, saying lines. That when I was on the set with Saving Private Ryan, I would come to the set 20 minutes early and literally talk Steven Spielberg's head off about everything in the script. I was critiquing the script of Saving Private Ryan to Steven Spielberg. I was a nothing. So I would go to the set early and I would talk to him, and I remember one day he said, I was talking to him about something in the third act, about Tom Hanks' character. And he looked at me with the most puzzled look on his face, like, this guy is crazy. Vinny, you die in the first act. You're not even in the third act. But he was so encouraging that when I wasn't shooting, he even let me operate a 35mm camera.
You couldn't buy better education than that.
I couldn't. I used to say all the time, and I would say to anybody to take this advice, I would have brought him coffee every day, and he wouldn't have had to pay me. The access to working professionals was what I was longing for. I just wanted to be around them. I just wanted to see what they do and learn from what they do. And because it was all foreign to me.
Vin Diesel, it's a pleasure.
Thank you, Monita.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.